Hey guys, my name's Ashley and this is my presentation about Martin Luther. Okay, so Martin Luther was born in Germany, and when he went to university, he actually started out studying law. That's what his dad wanted him to do. He wanted him to be a lawyer. I think he was only a month or so into his program when he decided to enter the monastery instead. And this happened because he was really terrified of a thunderstorm that was going on, and so he vowed that if he survived it, he would become a monk. This led him to continuing to work on theology and studying theology, and he eventually became a priest and a biblical scholar. So Martin Luther was a humanist, and like our lecture says, humanism is having an emphasis on the individual and the individual shaping their own life, and it doesn't mean that it is humane. It's more interested in humans experiencing the here and now. So Martin Luther really disliked the Catholic Church and said that it didn't really follow Christ's teachings. He especially disliked the sale of indulgences, which was paying the church to clear your sins. He said that God was the one that would decide a person's fate, and that people's sins should only be between them and God. He nailed his 95 Theses to the door of the church, and these challenged the church's practices and hierarchy, and this was the start of the Reformation. So like I had mentioned, Martin Luther didn't believe that the Catholic Church was following Christ's teachings in the Bible. Jesus said that life should be very simplistic and not frivolous or focused on the materialistic things of the world. And Martin Luther saw that the Catholic Church was doing just the opposite of this. He also didn't believe in the celibacy of nuns and priests. He said that many of them really didn't keep that vow anyways, and he married a former nun. He eventually was excommunicated from the church, and that is when Protestantism was formed. So because of the way Protestantism is compared with Catholicism, it makes it sound like being a Protestant was a lot more freeing and a lot more positive, but in reality it was actually pretty strict and kind of bleak. So there are a few pros and cons to what Martin Luther taught and the views of Protestantism. I think a couple of the positives first would be that people could have a very personal relationship with God. It was taught that you didn't have to go through anyone else to talk to him or to confess your sins. Like, it was a very one-on-one basis, and God was the one that would decide what your fate was. Another positive thing is that Martin Luther translated the Bible into German so that everyone could read it and everyone could learn from it. The problem that this created was that he claimed his version was the most correct of all the translations, and that led to a lot of conflict between religions in Europe. Something interesting I thought was that Martin Luther didn't believe in agency. Every single thing that a person did was planned, and it was either controlled by God or by the devil, and the person didn't really have a say in it. And I think in the end, Protestantism was a good thing because it accepted new thought and new views, and it did challenge the issues in the Catholic Church. And then these are just my sources, so most of the things I got from the textbook and from the lecture. And then for things about his early life, I did look at this Britannica website. But yeah, thank you guys for listening.